Village of 8. Then we can really save some money. Even better, I propose lifetime mayorship.
All fair?
Now, I'm just being facetious. I think it's the amount of money involved in these elections are peanuts compared to the quality of life of voting rights.
Thank you, Bob. Anyone else that hasn't spoken, and then we're going to go, I've got, yes.
Hi, I'm Lisa Chandler, 40 Montgomery, and I don't know if somebody mentioned this already, it's a little out of left field, but several years back there was a sort of a write-in campaign for a mayoral candidate who might have been a great mayor, I don't know, didn't make it in, but because of the election at the time was uncontested, there would have been a huge number of people in the village who wouldn't have gone and would not have known that there was actually an opposing candidate. Some other people in the village found out and said, yeah, you might want to vote if you have an opinion about this. I'm trying to imagine how I would have felt if somebody came into office whom I didn't know, had never heard speak about any issue personally. Again, it could be a great person. I'm not saying anything about the candidate. I'm saying about my involvement, because so many elections do go uncontested in Tivoli. This could happen again. It's a great initiative, but it's just something, it's a reality. If that person is then in for 4 years instead of 2, that's, given that maybe 2/3 of the villagers might not have even known this candidate before that person was then elected as a write-in candidate, that's sort of makes it doubly serious, literally doubly serious. So that's maybe a minor issue. I'm just bringing it up because at the time I remember thinking, even though I might have been all for this candidate, I wasn't given an option to choose. And because I wasn't part of the inner circle that was all going to write this person in. And I remember at the time thinking, wow, that's just so against the grain of my feeling of living in this village, where I'm a participant, where I know what's going on, where I have a voice. And so I'm just, this discussion just made me harken back a little bit to that moment when for the first and really only time I felt a little bit disenfranchised by my own village, as it were. And I'm feeling as though this is the only time that has touched upon that feeling for me.
Thank you. John?
Is it possible for you guys to just drop this right now?
The resolution has been pulled this evening. The resolution's not on the table. The resolution's on.
But it's scheduled to return in August.
What?
It's scheduled to come up again in August. You should know. For those of you that came late.
I mean, I haven't heard a single person that was in favor of this. How many times do we have to go through this, and what's the process, and who's going to decide in the end?
Well,
we're going to have an election that's going to cost us money to decide. We're going to have more elections? I mean, is that what we're going to do?
Right now, the resolution is off the table. The resolution is off the table. I can bring it back. As mayor, I can pull resolutions, and the mayor sets the agenda. Right now, the resolution is off. If this comes back for August, then I would amend the resolution to make it a mandatory referendum. Sometimes, unfortunately, you have to spend funds in order sometimes to get to a certain goal. I hear exactly what you're saying. Hold on one second.
House of Representatives, dude. You know?
I'm sorry?
Maybe you should move on to the House of Representatives.
With an approval rating of 12%, I'm not going to use them as a model, but I hear exactly what you're saying, John. But right now, the resolution is off the floor. I've pulled it, and I can reintroduce it. I can reintroduce it next month. Anyone else willing?
And that's up to you.
I can.
That's your decision.
I can, and then the board would obviously have an opportunity to vote it up or vote it down.
And when's the next election?
The next election's in March of next year.
Okay.
Dennis.
This village was incorporated in 1871 or 1872?
I don't have it off the top of my head.
72.
I think it's a lot earlier than that.
No, incorporated.
Oh, incorporated, I'm sorry.
Okay? So you got a,
Thank you. I knew it was.
but that's when it was founded, that's not when it was incorporated. So you got 140 years. This is 140th anniversary. For a 100, this is 140th.
I'm hearing you, go ahead.
Okay, this past June, okay, it was 140th anniversary. It's worked for 140 years. Why change it?
Thank you. Anyone else willing to address the board? Again, this public hearing will remain open until August. Seeing none, we'll move to regular business. Would you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance for the clerk? It is 7:32. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all very much, and I want to thank all of you, whether we agree on this or not. I want to thank all of you for coming out. I think this is exactly what defines the Village of Tivoli. Nothing is done in the Village of Tivoli without input from the village residents, and we'll wait for the grand exit. Moving on, at this point I would entertain a motion to suspend the rules to allow the public to address the board on agenda items only. So, motion's been made by Trustee Griffith. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none, does anyone want to address the board on agenda items?
I'm sorry, Mayor, for a second.
Trustee Griffith.
Thank you. I don't think anybody has an agenda. No.
They're made available.
No, I don't think so.
I don't know if I put them out, I'm sorry. Can you read these?
Let me tell you what's on the agenda.
Thank you.
Appointments to the Zoning Board of Appeals, Summer Rec Program Summary, ZRC Update. Anyone willing to address the board on agenda items only? Seeing none, moving...
Summer rec program, you said?
Yes.
Do we still have one?
Yes, it just concluded.
Okay.
We're going to have an update on that. Well, good stuff too, you hear.
I hope so.
You're going to hear good stuff on it. Is there anyone willing to address the board? Okay. We need a motion to return to regular business. I'm sorry. So moved. Motion's been made by the Deputy Mayor and seconded by Trustee Bruno.